What's up, folks? You just got Brad today, boys and girls. I don't know where Joe is. He's missing in action. But we'll carry on. Maybe he'll join us a little later. Not sure what's up with him. Anyway, hope everyone's having a fantastic day. I got a few things to cover. One of the things that I had been keeping an eye on, and I'm not currently keeping an eye on until today, was the progress of the barn raise at Beanstalk Farms. And I got to tell you, I'm disappointed. I'm incredibly disappointed. Only 12.92% of the 77 million they need has been raised. And I'm a little shocked because I know there were some potential funds lined up that wanted to play, especially at these levels of interest, 500%. And I'm a little surprised about the lack of participation in this so far. I'm actually considering going back in and giving it a run. And there's Joe.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, Joe?
Oh, yeah, just
to wake you up?
No, short little run. I just trying to get out of the shower, but didn't quite make it to the shower.
I'm just glad you're not still in the shower.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I like the streamer at the bottom, man. Looks good, buddy.
Yeah, I wanted to clear up a little space there.
Yeah.
So thought that's an easier way to do it instead of having to constantly turn it off and on. So I'm just talking about the Beanstalk barn raise, man. I'm a little surprised by the lack of participation. Only 12.92% of the 77 million has been sold. Now, granted, we are in the middle of clusterfuck of a market, but 500% returns on your investment on a protocol that was working beautifully, and the exploit had nothing to do with the actual functioning of the stablecoin mechanism, to me is really shocking. I'm wondering if Eamon's listening yet, or if he's going to be on today or not, because he was involved with doing some work for them. And, I'm just curious if he has any insights about what happened to some of the funds that were sniffing around wanting to be involved in this. But, I guess it's a product of the market conditions, but, that 500% interest is pretty nice.
No, it does look attractive, but I would say that a lot of the funds that were sniffing around probably got gashed pretty hard recently with Luna and 3AC and all those guys. So I bet everybody's kind of what I've heard is everybody's rethinking everything right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, and that makes total sense.
Yeah.
When you're ghosting all of the protocols you invested in and the people who put money in you, you're probably not thinking about that. Eamon says, haha, yeah, I've been keeping an eye on the barn raise too. Yeah, it's a little disappointing, but look, 500%. And I don't think those returns, I don't know. Eamon, is there any estimate on the time to get to the beans that you would get for that? Like if it doesn't go above this, how quickly the 1/3 going to the people that are doing the barn raise would hit them? I don't have any idea on that, but it seems like it wouldn't take too long as the protocol's functioning and running correctly.
Brad needs his vacation money.
There you go, man. That's exactly right. That's it. That's fucking it.
When do I get paid?
Exactly. Can you get that? Can I get that money back in like a week and a half? That'd be great. That'd be awesome. So speaking of market conditions, the STE pool evidently is almost empty. So it makes it much more difficult for people to that are wanting to swap for the cheap ETH to do that. Let's see, what do we got here? 609,891. That doesn't seem empty to me, but CoinDesk is reporting the trading pool that large institutional investors such as Alameda and 3 Hours Capital have used to dump their STE tokens is now nearly drained and heavily imbalanced. Definitely, it's still heavily imbalanced. potentially trapping retail investors. Let's see. Dropped to it had been at 4.6 billion and now it's at 621 million. So I guess that is a bit of a dump in the potential trade out. But look, retail investors, there's still plenty there. The question becomes what that looks like when it's an 81 to 18% ratio. I don't know. I don't know. But it's going to get worse because people are going to keep dumping more ST ETH, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean, God, just got to ride its course at this point, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So did you do a long run today or were you?
Oh, it's friggin' hot as blazes out there, man. I think I'd sweat out half.
I didn't think you were running anymore.
Just a little bit, It's just it's the only way I can get the stress out.
Up and down the driveway.
Well, it's funny because I'm kind of down this 1-lane road, so I've got to go about an eighth of a mile to get to say Cutler Road, or it's actually 37th.
Right.
No, yeah, it's 37th. It's Douglas, and I'll be heading down there, and all of a sudden, the first part of these is always hard because everything's swirling. Your body's like, "What the frig are you doing, dude?" And then I warm up a little in, and then I feel good, but I can't run like I used to be able to. That's for sure. I just go out and try to sweat out the toxins, and you realize, hey, just walking around does that.
Yeah.
So then Eamon says, grab a beer.
Eamon says, yeah, who knows? It'll be dependent on demand for beans. Demand was extreme when the exploit happened, but it's a very different market these days. Yeah, the timing is just fucking shit. Just brutal. Just absolutely brutal. But look, I have high hopes for Beanstalk. I think it's got so much potential. So I'm really hopeful they'll make it out. Some other news here. So the holders of MakerDAO voted to start taking Rocket Pool's RETH in as collateral, I guess. So that's great news for that project. Rocket Pool, for those who don't know, is like Lido or Lido. I never know how to pronounce it. But it is decentralized. So whereas Lido is centralized in the way it's managed and stored, Rocket Pool waited another year and built more to build something that was truly decentralized. And hopefully we'll see a lot more stakers moving into Rocket Pool in the near future. Now that there's a mechanism for using the derivative tokens, the RETH tokens, as collateral, that will probably entice more people to get into Rocket Pool. There are other ways to use Rocket RETH for yield, but this certainly, I think, helps boost Rocket Pool. And hopefully, we don't want too much concentration in one protocol for liquid staking. So I'm really glad to see that they were accepted by the MakerDAO community. Yes. Joe is excited. Joe is very excited. Hey, buddy, you remember QuickSwap? Remember those days?
Yeah, I was just on there yesterday, man.
They've added a predictions market, so they're trying to compete with DeFi. It's a branded white label of another project's product, but it's just like the DeFi one. So it seems like DeFi was always a step ahead of QuickSwap, but QuickSwap had all the liquidity. I have no idea where they stand these days, but they have upgraded their interface. I don't know if they just took Sushi's UI and UX components to upgrade it because it looks strikingly similar to the new Sushi interface. But I have not been here this is the beta, the new interface. I haven't been on this website in a very long time. Have you been playing over here at all?
I went in today and bought more SIF chain, more Erewhon.
Really?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's just down. And I'm like, what the fuck, $6 to DCA? Might as well.
There you go. Joe picking up a little more syphilis.
Yeah. I just basically
do it in the car and you can sue your insurance company.
There you go. No, I'm USAA, so they just drag me out and shoot me. They're not going to freaking pay for an STD. I'm sorry. They're not like Geico, those little government pussies.
I wonder how much liquidity they've got going on in QuickSwap these days. Or TVL. What's going on over here?
I have no idea.
I wonder if I've got some shit stuck somewhere in some old dead pools over here I haven't forgotten about. Who knows? I don't know. Joe. I don't know. But, I'm glad to see them upgrading their interface. And look, it'll be interesting to see if prediction markets yield anything for them. But look, I mean,
doing that. Wasn't that like last year? Who was doing prediction? Was it DeFi?
DeFi.
Yeah.
DeFi has the same basic interface. It looks like they were completely copied. Let's see. What's going on it? Define. More.
I mean, that thing's down to like 3 cents or 2 cents or something like that. But
they took I don't see the prediction stuff here anymore. That's interesting.
These guys are based in India, right?
Yeah. Indian-based firm.
Yeah.
They did launch that DeFi Fusion, which we talked about previously, where you can convert multiple tokens into one. So if you have a bunch of shit lying around, you can take them all, add more and more and more, and then I'll convert them into one swap, which is cool. And they also did a build your own farm system. Eamon says Pancake Swap had the first predictions market. And I think there's been other players in the prediction space, but definitely Pancake Swap was ahead of the game probably. But I like this where you can build your own farm. It's kind of a competitor to Geyser, I guess. I'm not quite sure. I haven't tried it out functioning, but really haven't had a need to create my own farm.
Yeah.
We'll need to get the lunch token. Is there a lunch token? Is there a token called lunch?
It must be, dude.
Now that I say it, somebody's going to go lunch token. All the food tokens, you would think somebody did lunch, right?
You would think.
There's Lunch DAO. Lunch DAO is a DAO autonomous organization that bids for Buffett's lunch. Those charity auction fucking Buffett did. This is hilarious. Seriously? Oh my God.
Well, somebody's been eating their lunch lately.
Somebody's been eating their lunch. Called the market. That's hilarious. All right. Let's see what we got. Yeah, look, I just wanted to post this real quick. And this is a good reminder that the whole mess that we're experiencing with Celsius, it's just a reminder, everyone that's locked up, everyone that can't get to their money, everyone that can't take some liquidity and deal with their existing leverage. Not your keys, not your crypto, right? End of the day, if you're staking or placing your funds on a centralized exchange, then, this is what happens. Your shit gets locked up because they need your money. So everybody, not your keys, not your tokens. Eamon said there's no free lunch token.
People were locking keys to Celsius?
No. People were staking their funds in Celsius and letting people borrow against it and earning interest. And now Celsius has locked everybody out so they can't withdraw.
Yeah, I know.
So the idea is if you had been in a decentralized protocol, this wouldn't have happened to you. But because you're in a centralized offering like Celsius, they have the right to lock you up and keep your money. And they're going to declare bankruptcy, and you'll probably never see, any significant amount of the money you had in there.
Well, let me ask a question. Which ones out there where you can stake them do you consider decentralized?
Which ones can I stake?
Where you can stake ETH and BTC, do you consider decentralized?
Aave.
Really?
Any of the lending protocols.
You don't think they can lock and seize?
No, that's not how it works.
No. We'll see in a second, I guess.
What?
We'll see in a week or so, is my guess. But I don't, there's the socialized loss concept. So, you're saying they don't do that in a decentralized exchange either? I know in the sexes they do for sure, but you're saying they don't in DEXs?
No, I'm absolutely saying they don't. Like it's a deposit in a smart contract, right? Now,
well, we argue all the time that they're not truly decentralized. I mean, that's the whole theme of this crash. Is none of this is truly decentralized. So I'm just kind of
the theme of the crash is that Celsius wasn't decentralized and Terra wasn't decentralized. Certainly, there are
to this week's crash. This has been going on for 5 months now. Remember?
Right. But certainly there are protocols that have centralized leadership, but there are smart contracts that you have control over your funds, man.
No, I get it. But most of these aren't really that. That's what I'm saying.
No, but that's not true. Most of them are. I mean, the point is that you can, even if their website goes down, you can still extract your tokens from their smart contracts. The only ways that there may be a way is if the developers have put a backdoor into the smart contract and there's some way to get it out. But that's why, there's all these services like RugDoc and audits that say, hey, warning, this contract is got a backdoor to it. But the whole point of it is that these centralized exchanges have full legal control over your money. You're not putting your shit into a smart contract or a vault. You're putting your stuff into their database and they're keeping it and lending it to other people and trying to
I get the model, Brad. I get the model. Thank you. My question, and I've never been a Celsius fan, obviously. I just don't, this article to me kind of, depositing crypto and earning yield is the whole thing. So this is more of just, he's saying linking Celsius to like sexes and stuff like that just don't do anything centralized.
Right. The whole idea is, if you don't have control of the funds, like if you've deposited in a centralized exchange, you no longer have control.
No, we get that. This is obvious. I mean, I don't know. I get all this. I'm just saying, we always talk about how so many of these that say they're decentralized aren't really decentralized. And I was just curious to get your take on that.
Yeah. So the idea of things like Terra, where, Do Kwon had some centralized control on trying to maintain the peg and buying Bitcoin and et cetera, with the idea that there was some kind of vote. Those are the things that are more centralized. In terms of the smart contracts that governed the protocols, I'm sure there are some that have backdoors or have the ability for people to lock funds. But for the most part, the majors in the space, lending protocols, et cetera, if you put your protocol in there to lend against, you have access to your funds. There's no... This is not
no way. Okay, got it.
Yeah. They can't.
Ideally, there's no way.
We need your funds to cover our ass, like Celsius did.
The goal or the aspirational goal, or ideally, is that they can't touch it. I know we talk about this. We've been talking about this for 5 years. Smart contracts and things like that. And I just, it seems like this year the theme was that how much of this isn't decentralized.
Yeah, and I think the centralization versus decentralization debate is more about who controls funding mechanisms, peg mechanisms, treasury assets, et cetera, not the user's participation in the system. And Eamon said they can hand down certain parameters like whether to list something or not, but there's not like a take user funds in most code, like an emergency withdraw all. He said there can also be pause logic, but that just halts in case of a hack. So it just stops the activity of it, but doesn't remove funds. And it should require a large group of multi-sig signers to execute a halting. Yeah, I agree. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Absolutely. I'm just waiting to see this spread. And that's why I'm like wondering how many other people can do this.
Yeah, I think it'll be the funds and the centralized folks that are doing it, right? Like 3AC had people investing in them and they're able to go in and take whatever money out they want because it's not smart contract based, right? Mm-hmm. So all of these people who invested in or allowed their funds to be invested by 3AC are now seeing money disappearing from their account without any communications from the folks at 3AC because 3AC is off trying to cover their ass on their calls, on their margin calls. So, so speaking of which, all three of these exchanges, FTX, Deribit, and BitMEX, liquidated 3 arrows.
Yeah, I saw that.
So it's ugly. It's ugly. Tether market cap has shrunk below 70 billion, and they're claiming that it's a concerted effort to take down Tether. That people are fucking with them.
People are dumping Tether, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So when the Tether market cap goes down, so you sell Tether for say ETH, all right, and that tether doesn't disappear. So how does the 3 billion get paired off the market cap? I thought it was like redemptions of some kind. Are they coming back to Tether to redeem at that place?
No, I don't know
how the market cap goes down.
That must be some kind of, they must be utilizing the Tether redemption mechanism or something for it to take it out of circulation.
Board, yeah.
I would assume that's how they do it.
So I would look at it as like, hey man, the redemption function's working.
Right.
3 billion is run through.
Right.
It's still holding. So
yeah, that makes total sense and justifies it. Absolutely.
No, I think this is where everybody's obviously going to be focused.
Yeah.
For the next couple of weeks. But I saw another one, USDN, that I haven't heard a lot about that seemed to be.
No, that's the Waves one. Remember, that's the one we were looking at. That was Sean says redemptions.
Okay, cool. So that's going back to Twitter, to Tether HQ. All right.
And Eamon says buy at least 100,000 Tether and go ask them for redemptions. So I guess they do the redemptions for the large sizes only.
Oh, so you're buying, you go buy on the market, then redeem there. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
If you're doing a attack like this.
Now, in a statement, the company says its reserve for backing the stablecoin comprised 47% U.S. Treasuries and less than 25% commercial paper. Said it has no exposure to Celsius or 3AC.
And there's also how much, did it say anything about the Chinese paper? I've heard they've really reduced.
So they said this week Tether denied claims that 85% of its commercial paper portfolio used to back the stablecoin comprises Asian and Chinese commercial paper that is trading at a 30% discount. Now, does that mean it's 84%?
Or the discount's 40?
Yeah.
And it's 95%.
Its current portfolio of commercial paper has since been further reduced to $11 billion from $20 billion at the end of quarter 1, 2022, and will be $8.4 billion by the end of June 2022. This will gradually decrease to zero without any incurrence of losses. All commercial papers are expiring and will be rolled into U.S. Treasuries with a short maturity.
Perfect.
Regarding the recent, that's the Celsius thing. Tether is aware of rumors that it is 85. These numbers are completely false and likely spread to induce further panic in order to generate additional profits from an already stressed market. Tether condemns such attempts, which oftentimes sees simple users take the biggest hit while few coordinated funds increase their profits. I'm going to tell them to hire my mother to edit their releases before they put them out. Yeah, this is silly. I'm not going to bring this up. Oh, this was interesting. So Anchor, my buddies at Anchor, were chosen by Optimism PBC to launch public RPCs for them after another provider couldn't handle the load during the Optimism airdrop. So remember that whole debacle they had with their airdrop and the problems? Well, Anchor, who is a decentralized infrastructure provider, it's one of the reasons I was so excited about them is they're providing a node infrastructure that's decentralized, is now going to provide them with their decentralized RPC capabilities. So that's a big win for Anchor. And earlier today, I was tweeting about revenue versus token price. And I think we're going to see more and more people taking a strong look at protocols like Anchor and platforms like Anchor that provide real value in a decentralized fashion to the market, and are generating real revenue for their project. So anyway, great to see that. Congratulations to Josh and the team at Anchor. They have the infrastructure. They've been using it, thousands of nodes around the world. So it just makes sense that Optimism would be the one. And it's good to see Optimism using an RPC provider that's decentralized instead of centralized, so they don't have the same problems they had previously. Mark Cuban is talking a lot about great fundamentals, blah, 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 blah. Remember we were talking about setting up numbers protocols, Joe? Lottery protocols?
Yeah, I do.
This company has launched a lottery / numbers game on that. Remember Juno blockchain? Weren't they the ones that fucked up where they were voting to take back the guy's money? That I think that was Juno. Anyway,
sounds right. Yeah,
right. So they're going to offer lotteries for a variety of IBC-enabled crypto assets such as Atom, Osmo, Juno, and Stars. But I got to tell you, the reason I brought this article up is this is the kind of shit that will get attention right now, right? Like lotteries and numbers games where you have a chance to win big, but you don't have to spend a lot, are the things that actually are going to get people's attention instead of like trying to bid on whether a token's going to go up or not, right? This is the kind of shit that in a down market and potentially a recession actually could get a lot of attention and a lot of flow through it, a lot of cash coming into it. So anyway, interesting place to be. Of course, it's completely illegal to do that in the United States unless you're licensed. But I just found that interesting because I think that during a down market, those things will probably do pretty well. So we'll see. I think PancakeSwap has lottery tickets, doesn't it?
Didn't like Tron have something like that too?
Oh,
like,
probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think PancakeSwap has a lottery of some kind, if I remember correctly. Win lottery. Yeah, they do have a lottery. Right now, you can win $84,682 if you buy a ticket, Joe.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's your vacation money.
There you go.
Honey, I've got your project for the next week. Just play this constantly.
Come here and buy these tickets.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
You ever heard of anything called Babel Finance?
Like yeah.
Babel?
They what they do?
They just completed a financing with a $2 billion valuation, and now say they're encountering unusual liquidity pressure. Redemptions, withdrawals have been stopped. End of last year, the loan balance reached more than it's a lending protocol as well. Loan balance reached more than $3 billion. Average monthly derivatives transaction volume was 800 million, and the issuance of option structured products reached more than $20 billion.
Oof.
So they're locked.
They are locked.
Asia Crypto Lending Company.
Another centralized one. I guess they had some.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm looking at their website now. Aiming to be the most prestigious institution in crypto finance, we're committed to offering our clients full crypto financial services by offering an easy, smooth, and secure experience. We're building a solid crypto financial infrastructure for the world.
You're fully transparent for clients. So, for example, what's my balance? 0. Bye. Don't take it personally. Just take it down the road.
We're not even going to put zeros there.
Yeah.
We're just going to make it transparent. Oh, that's ugly. Sequoia, Dragonfly, Tiger, Circle is in here. Shit. How much did they raise? 80 million. 2 billion valuation. Woo. Well. They will all fall. It's getting ugly, but on some good news, Kazakhstan is going to let exchanges run and have their own bank accounts. Exciting news. So, let's go start an exchange, Joe. What do you think?
Why not? What the hell? Wait, who is? I used to know some people from the Kazakhstani Sovereign Wealth Fund, but that was
there you go.
What was that? That was 5 or 6 years ago, because they're all running around London, and there was some friends of mine in London know them. But it's those kind of, again, I'm trying not to pick on people when I say things, but that kind of sovereign money is sort of looting the till money, basically. And you got to be kind of careful doing business with those guys.
Does Kazakhstan have a dictator? Doesn't they have like a guy that's like?
Yeah, didn't they? I think the Russians sent in some people a couple of months ago to slaughter a bunch of civilians to get power. Yeah,
to make sure that their guy stayed in the hot head office.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I guess unless they show up to take all your crypto, it's probably.
Well, maybe Russia needs a way to get the money out.
I did read something about the Russians and where there's some study out today that shows where all the private jets have been going since the war started. Before the war, they were all jetting into Geneva, Paris, London for like weekend shopping trips. Now they're all going to Turkey, Dubai, and Kazakhstan.
Well, this is interesting. This massive move comes right after CEO of Binance, CZ, visited the country.
Ooh, I might be looking for a little insurance policy.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Fuck this crypto diplomat stuff in South America. Give me Oh no, that's Tron. Sorry,
that's Tron. That's Justin. Yeah, but still, look, I mean, it makes sense, right? You lobby, you pay whoever you have to pay in the
licensing fees
department, and suddenly there's a new law allowing exchanges and banks to work together in Kazakhstan. There you go.
I mean, that might be a good endpoint. I mean, I don't know. I guess you trust them. Fees, but still, it might be this, and it's gone. What's gone?
I don't know. I think he's talking about the Babel.
Oh, okay. Let me just check.
Sean says, haha, CZ is a prepper.
That's great.
That's awesome. Sean's coming on next week, dude.
All right, man. Do we have a day?
We're gonna get our lesson in maximalism.
I'm loving it, man.
He's gonna try to convert us, I think. I think he's gonna start calling himself Bitcoin Jesus from now on.
Really? Oh
yeah.
Who was the other one? Well, there's always somebody calling.
No. What's his name? Blah, 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 blah. Come on, Sean. Tell me, who was Bitcoin Jesus? The guy who was a trader who started Bitcoin Cash. Oh, my God. Why am I drawing a blank? This is what happens when you turn 57. Words just disappear from your brain. Come on, Joe.
What? You want us to say something?
Yeah. What's his name?
Oh, shit. I don't know.
Now I have to fucking look it up. Not Satoshi Nakamoto. Roger Ver. Thank you.
There you go.
Douchebag. Roger Ver. There. Thank you. Sean said, mostly at the moment I am saying Jesus Bitcoin.
As in Jesus Bitcoin.
That's friggin' awesome. That is awesome. Yeah. All right. So Kazakhstan brings us some good news. This is interesting. So this popular Netflix series. Oh, God damn you, Bloomberg. You're such assholes. The popular Netflix series about the woman. I can't remember what she was scamming in, but there's a series about this woman who was a scammer. Who has
her, yeah.
She wants to get away from her scammer persona by selling NFTs.
Go legit, Anna. Now she's the one who ran. I mean, it's just so funny. I mean, I know she broke the law and stuff like that, but I just find it funny how people are so gullible.
Yeah.
She didn't have any money, and she's running around acting like I think a German heiress of some kind with some bit of royalty.
Yeah.
And and she's playing the game the way people with entitlement backgrounds do. They just don't ever pay for anything and allude to all this shit, and then order the most expensive stuff and not pay. So she was playing that game, the kind of old money game a little bit, and everybody just bought into it, and she was pitching all those crazy projects that just made zero sense to me, and lo and behold, this is where she ends up.
Well, young woman.
I'm sure there's a lot of old white guys.
Niblets ask, where's our douchebag of the week?
Ooh.
Well, I think we could, for right now, I'm going to temporarily put Roger Ver there because any day of the week, you could have Roger be douchebag of the week. But let's find one. Maybe Anna Sorokin is our douchebag of the week, Joe.
Nah, she's already been beaten up pretty hard, She's coming a little late to the NFT game too, it seems. But,
Eamon said she stole such a small amount of money that it's comical she got in trouble. Like her attorney got a promotion for lying for her. So yesterday I talked a little bit about the whole Rari Faye thing and how they were voting on. Yeah. Actually, I didn't see where the vote went, but I think it went against because last night it was trending back the other way, deeper to against. This was really interesting. Even if it goes against, where is it? Let me see where the vote actually is. Here it is. Even if it goes against, this is really cool. So 4 is 30 million, 43 against. I think it's over. I'm pretty sure it's done. Oh, no, it's active still, but 11 hours, it's over. So it looks like it's going to lose, right? So the exploit payback isn't going to happen yet. But one of the things that that's really interesting is Maki, formerly of Sushi, got together with some of the biggest DAOs and whales in the space that got burned in the exploit. And they're creating a coalition to set up a payback system and a new proposal to be voted on, where they would take a smaller, oh shoot, I got to find the original thing. Essentially, they're taking it so that retail all get paid back, but they take a smaller cut of what they should get back. They take a haircut on what they lost. The DAOs and the whales take a haircut of what they lost. They still get some money back, but to prevent them from taking money from the protocol controlled value, the PCV of Fei. So these guys have stepped up. I mean, these are the kinds of people it's like Sam Kazemian, Zeus, Tetranode, who's made a shit ton of money on Fuse, so he should definitely give it up. Babylon Finance and Maki are all saying, you know what, we'll take a haircut because we want the retail investors to get their money first, and we don't want to harm the protocol. And now, where else in the world would you have anything like this happen except in DeFi, right? Like where? Go ahead.
Oh no, I didn't want to not burst a bubble, but I was thinking when I heard this, I started thinking of Lloyd's of London. Right away, I started thinking about insurance-free insurers.
Yeah,
I mean, this is what they should do. Is the big whales should get together and form a network of funds that's backstop for all of this. So, because they're right, retail shouldn't get crushed.
Exactly.
Because then they're out of the game.
Yeah.
Well, so
I love the fact that these guys stepped up and said, you know what? We love Fei. We love Rari. We don't want to hurt it. There's a reason we had money in this. And so let's take a haircut and let's make sure retail gets covered and we don't harm the protocol at the same time, right? It makes Joey look smart from Fei and the team at Fei for saying, hey, we don't want to do this deal because we don't want to harm our PCV. At the same time, I think there are very few places or industries or businesses in the world where a group of independent investors would come together and say, fuck it, we'll take a loss just so we can make sure retail's taken care of and the protocol's kept safe. That to me is truly an amazing thing. Just amazing. So,
well, it's the long game,
Yeah, of course.
It's the smart play.
Absolutely. So totally agree. Yeah, no, totally agree. So I love this. I applaud this. So the non-douchebags of the week are Maki and Sam and Zeus and Tetra and Babylon, the guys at Babylon, which another project that I love. These are the guys, DeFi heroes of the week doing the right thing. And I really appreciate them stepping up to do that because it makes a ton of sense. And, if you look at Fei has been through some shit and they still maintain their peg. That protocol has worked. It's over collateralized. It's run well. So anyway, I'm glad to see this. This was great to see.
Yeah, no, I like that. That's definitely the anti-douchebag coalition.
Yeah. So I've been following a Twitter account and had notifications on for it, but I guess I hadn't noticed any of the things popping up. There's this site called Crypto Illuminati, which is kind of this coalition of people. I don't even think it's really a DAO, but it's this coalition of people who write educational content for the space. And I saw this one article on a strategy it was like, if you're down in a bear market, how to turn $5 into $500 with a safe strategy kind of thing. Sounded a little cheesy, but I read the piece and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I went through and found out the company retweeting it, Crypto Illuminati, is actually like they have a ton of really cool educational content and a ton of great writers. Things like, what are flash loans, how to create your NFT collection from scratch with no coding experience, how to get a high paying job in crypto, how to avoid getting wrecked, risks and pitfalls to be aware of, all kinds of really powerful, useful content here. So I'm going to put the link at 0xilluminati.com. I'll put the link in the show notes, but there's like this never ending list of really cool educational content here that, it's the kind of thing you really like to see people doing. So check it out. And maybe we'll highlight some of these pieces later on in another episode, Joe.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what else we got. This was one of the articles. This one is somebody called the DeFi Princess, right? Here's a playbook for 10 do your own research strategies and 8 simple tweets, right? So one of the things that they link to is her content on Twitter, where she goes through how people can do research. using Dex Screener, using CoinGecko, looking at liquidity, looking at, PE ratios, et cetera, et cetera. So this is the kind of really useful content that can be really valuable in the space, and that I love seeing people out there creating and building on. And I love that, this coalition of people is out there doing it, and I don't even think they have a token. So that's good news.
I just noticed an article just popped up like 10 minutes ago on
Tether.
On Tether in the New York Times. It's a good overview. Of course, the title is "The Coin That Could Wreck Crypto," but I think it's worth reading. I was just scrolling through the first couple of paragraphs, and it's a broad, all-encompassing explanation. So
cool.
I'll put the link up.
Thanks. Send me the link. I'll put it in the show notes. That's awesome, dude. I have a bunch of other shit, but I think I'm done for the day, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got anything else you want to talk about?
I bought some Erewhon today. I bought some Arby's
on the street corner.
Yeah. I was down there. Hey man, how about a little Erewhon?
Because that's what it sounds like.
I know. I said it yesterday. I was going, that sounds pretty bizarre. And but I bought some just because it's cheap, just to see what happens. But and then I went in to double down on Arby's finance and realized that they're destaking and converting all the Arby's stuff to Umami. So I realized the conversion rate's like 450,000 to 1.
Wow.
So I just went to ETH and said, forget it. And then something else I bought more of today, more Geist. I'm hanging in Geist. I'm loading up.
He's a Geist true believer.
I love it.
I love it, man.
At least I'm willing to roll the dice on it. I don't know how much I believe.
Absolutely.
But, it's on Phantom. It's cheap. If you're already in, you can double down here for like $4. So
that's awesome. I'll take a look, Joe. Yeah. I have not done any Geist yet, so I might as well give it a shot while it's cheap, right?
Yeah, I was always thinking how it would fit into our other thing, as far as a protocol.
Yeah.
For different things to do. But it seems stable. It's not, it's already tanked. So,
yeah.
But, just take a look at it. So those are the 3 I was playing in today.
Cool.
Just for yucks.
Chuck says $258 billion lawsuit might make Elon the douchebag of the week.
That's true, too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I did see that article.
Niblet said, since Joe rolls with Kazakh sovereigns, does he know where the $2 trillion in crypto market cap went?
Last I heard, the Ledger Nano device was on the back of a donkey caravan or a camel caravan going through the steppes of Central Asia.
Aben said he moved all his WBTC off of Phantom. Seemed like weird stuff happening and was making him nervous. I guess he means generally with Phantom that there was some shit going on.
There's not a lot of activity over there right now, obviously. Yeah. So, I wouldn't be nervous about Phantom per se, but I don't have anything deposited in Geist. Okay.
Right.
So I've just locked the tokens. They're like 80% return locked, and then they just add to it. And I just take them off the site, relock them, and just build that way, hoping that it'll turn into something.
I buy more Phantom every day. I have it in a pool with Creator Token. I just keep buying, take the earnings, buy more earnings, buy more. I don't feel like I can ever lose by having more Phantom. So that's just me. That's not advice.
Yeah, I don't think. I feel like. I think funny to me. I think most of the risk is to.
Eamon's WBTC was in Geist.
Yeah, that's smart. No, I would do that too. That's why I dumped everything out like a couple months ago, just because it's just too risky.
Yeah.
Right now. So, but I still keep the tokens. I'm not in any of the liquidity pools there like I was before. The yields are too small, but you can lock up these 3-month locks there for I think about 85% interest. So if you want to play, just acquire and lock it and forget about it.
Yeah.
And so you come back and there's more there. And this hopefully lasts to the next cycle. And my thesis is that in the next cycle, Phantom should do pretty well, and everything on Phantom should do pretty well. Is my gut. Right. So I'm figuring why not? I think Geist is. I don't think Aave is on Phantom yet. It's only over on Avalanche, if I'm not mistaken. So
I thought it was.
What did it move in there? Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't know.
But I don't know. I figure you got to pick a few of these because that's what happened in the last cycle. I mean, I had the one client who I ended up with a boatload of tokens that went all the way down like 0.5 zeros and some ones or something like that. And then it went from there to 14 cents.
Right.
So, in this cycle. So, it's pick the ones you like that you think can make it and just put some small educated.
Oh, yeah, they got Phantom on Aave.
They do. Okay.
Yep. Yep. Arbitrum, Avalanche, Phantom, Harmony, Optimism, Polygon, Ethereum. Yeah.
I haven't been on Aave much in the last couple of months just because I haven't been borrowing against anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good but yeah, I like that. And, I haven't done anything on Avalanche. I was looking at Blizzard, but I'm like, if they can't maintain a price oracle on Luna, then to me, it's like, if they can't maintain that the Chainlink oracle of Luna pricing data is not sending accurate data and get hacked, to me, that's pretty much a big red flag there.
Yeah, it should do it. That should do it.
And they were a fork of Geist. So Geist seems to continuously be innovating and Blizzard doesn't. So I'm not really doing anything. I mean, I have a shitload locked there, but I'm not doing anything. I'm not adding.
Just letting it sit.
Just like, whatever, man. If it goes, it goes. It's the same thing. You never know. I mean, maybe Avalanche wins. Maybe Phantom wins. Maybe Poly wins. I am a little concerned about those layer 2s on ETH, though. The Optis, the Arbitrums, the Metis, the Polys, those types. With this merge and ETH and gas fees, I mean, I'm just wondering what happens at that point, I guess.
Yeah. I got a little bit staked in FHM because I thought they were doing some interesting things. They're actually doing a stablecoin thing and some alternatives to investing. They were one of the Olympus forks, but they've shifted gears quite a bit on what they're offering to the market. So just for shits and giggles, I got a little bit over there, but it's not worth much.
Yeah. So, but all in all, I mean, I still feel like there's going to be this friggin' rip down eventually. But then I think, who knows? I think then we're going to start moving into positive.
Yeah.
But, who knows? Is that today? No.
Right.
Is it August? I hope. I don't know. I was going to say, I hope not, but I was going to say, I think it's October is what we think it's going to be, right?
Yeah. I keep seeing that more and more. I keep seeing more and more analysts saying, look, August, September, October, we have a big run up and then we have the full capitulation after that. I don't know.
Well, when we got elections coming up in November, we should have some clarity by then on what's going on with inflation, fuel prices, all that stuff. So,
yeah.
And then elections here. I mean, I could see stuff like that triggering some policy changes, but I don't know what the catalyst. I mean, it just depends on when the economy slows down. When does all this tightening kind of tip it over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I saw somebody making the point that you and I've talked about before is that the inflation rate is kind of this lagging indicator, right? And they may still be doing the increases when in fact it's already done its job, and then they're further pushing things negatively down for for the little guy. So I don't know.
Well, no, it's hard. You're right, because it is a super tanker. You can't just flip a switch.
Right.
You got to wait for it. You start if you're, I don't know, super tanker pilots out there, you basically start that turn about 25 miles before it starts.
Right. Right.
So, that's what they're always trying. The Fed's always, and everybody's always trying to anticipate where things are going with data and things like that. And I think in this situation, there's just not a lot of data in history over it.
You would think by now they had more real-time data coming at them, right? Like, I mean, there are price feeds from retailers. There are, wholesale.
Oh, no, they
data
get all
markets.
that. No,
you got to believe they're getting that in real time.
No,
I would hope.
I mean, in the sense of guiding strategy, when you're coming out of, a 14-year stimulus, basically, and now what comes next? I mean, nobody really knows.
Yeah.
It was the Japanese did the same thing, but going the other way. They were forced into making a lot of tough decisions. Nobody knew where it was going. We know now. But I think that I kind of think the Fed's doing a decent job myself. I know everybody wants to complain about everything and everybody hates everybody in government and all that shit. But, it's hard. It's hard.
It's a brutal
managing
job.
350 million people.
Yeah.
In a, $30 trillion economy or something like that. I mean, it's that's a tough job. And you're responsible for a lot of the planet beyond just the United States. Because when we start raising rates and U.S. interest rates on deposits go up, then all the money comes flooding out of the third world, emerging markets into U.S. dollars. So that's why you see this sort of race where I think I saw the Swiss raised their key rate today. So everybody's raising because they know that's what happens. That, the big hedge fund, the big super ultra high net worth and financial institutions start moving all into dollars.
Yeah.
So that's when you see the dollar strengthening against the euro. So, to me, I'm like, that is hard. And I don't know, I was reading another thing. Everybody's always, oh my God, a recession. We've been in recessions 14% of the time since like 1930.
Right.
So it's not like this never happens. Yeah. And it's actually part of the growth cycle. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It just cleans out all the rot, the sclerotic dead stuff gets burned out and new stuff grows from it. So, I know Biden doesn't think there's going to be a recession. He thinks it's possible to avoid it, but I think it's going to be pretty hard.
Yeah,
to avoid it myself, totally agree. Because eventually people are just going to rebalance everything and take losses. And then if the real estate market hits, then you're going to be glad those interest rates are back up because then we're going to slam them back down to zero.
Exactly.
And then it's going to be off to the races again in crypto world.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
I'm good.
Joe, thank you very much. Eamon, Niblets, Sean, Chuck. Hope I didn't miss anybody. Thank you so much for participating today. We love your brains. Joe, we really got to try to do a spaces combined so we can have these guys actually up talking to us. It'd be fun. I think to have like a free for all of like 10 people. Can you set that up next week?
I just got to remember what my password is to
I think it would be really fun to have a whole full-blown chat going with everybody.
Oh, no, I would love that too. I think, look, I know you seem to know the Twitter better than anybody, but the Twitter. Sound like a friggin' 90-year-old. But no, if you could figure that out, I'm definitely all for it.
Yeah. You should have seen me
about it a few times, but I just don't know if it's too hard to do or something.
My parents are in town with my nephews, and my mom, she's 82, almost 82. And she's like, I keep trying to listen to your podcast, but I don't have a damn clue what you're talking about. And I said, no, I get it, Mom. I said, my wife doesn't either. It's okay. She's like, no, but I really want you to explain it to me. I was like, wait, what time is it?
Yeah. No, it's the same. My mom says that too. She goes, I listened to your show yesterday. I still don't really know what you're talking about most of the time, but I'm starting to figure some of it out. And I said,
that's cool.
Just
well, I walked her through some examples, some lending, and, do my usual Alchemix example and blah, blah, blah. And, explained why it was important and everything. She nodded and smiled like she was paying attention. Got it. Who knows if she did or not, but we got work to do.
It's funny. You mentioned Alchemix. And I remember in one of the conversations we had yesterday, I heard, because I was thinking about Alchemix and I was like thinking about those self-paying back loans. And I heard yesterday that the payback term for those self-paying back loans is 10,000 years. I'm like, what?
I don't know what the actual is, but I guess with whatever Yearn's paying out these days, that's where they're stuck.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. It's going to get paid back. But see, I always, eventually, but to me, it's kind of like, a lot of these, everybody taking, like we just saw with, just about everything in the space, everybody taking deposits has to go park it somewhere else for yield.
Yeah.
And when you can't find higher yield, then that train stops.
Yeah. Look, they're in trouble for that. And look, so they're in a market where it's not going to work right now, and they're going to have to wait until things start improving. And Yearn, Eamon said, no one I've explained Alchemix to believes that it's real. I just lose credibility when I mention it.
It does. It does get that look. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of explained, I had to first explain, protocols and lending and staking, et cetera, et cetera. I went through all that. I probably lost her the first time I said, staking. So, but anyway, it was a good exercise.
T-bone or something like that.
All right. Thank you to everyone for participating. We love you guys. We appreciate you. We appreciate everyone that's listening and watching. Thank you so much for doing that. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please rate and review us. Just takes a couple of minutes and gives us a huge boost. And that's why we don't have commercials running all the way through all the time. Although I think Joe's going to start. Didn't you book a commercial for the Oriental massage place down the road?
Susie Wong's? Beach
Is
Shack?
it still called that? There's one by my house that literally says Oriental Massage.
Oh, that's all. They all say that. They're in strip malls. I was at my daughter's, SAT tutoring thing a couple of weeks ago, waiting for her, and I was in the parking lot, waiting for her to come out the door, and I looked up at the second level of this kind of strip mall-y thing, and you got everything from bikini waxing places, plastic surgeons, Oriental spa. Of course, the Obamacare healthcare thing. They use that word down here a lot still for rolling up people into insurance.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's not a negative. They're actually just trying to get people into the insurance plans. Oriental fucking day spa but these aren't like, this is not like the Shangri-La or the Mandarin.
But that's the ads you're booking, right, for us?
But they wanted you to make sure that I told them that you had like 4 or 5 of those 10 happy ending punch cards left and that you were going to give them back to them or something.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. I'll do that. No problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
Said your wife got pissed. You gotta love it. But we'll find a sponsor soon. We'll find a sponsor soon.
If you're weak, we just have to actually put out the effort. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, like, and click the little bell so you get notified when a new episode comes out. We love and appreciate everyone that comments. Don't hesitate. Don't be afraid to do it. These crazy guys that join us every day, we love having them on. So we're going to have one of them on the show in a week or in the next week, as well. We've already had Eamon on the show as well. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. And we'll see you on the other side. Have a great weekend and we'll talk later.
Thanks, everyone. Have